Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Show. Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. Got lots to fit in just 30 minutes. Lions blew a 17-7 lead at halftime and lost 24-20 to end their season in Dallas against the Cowboys in the NFC Wild Card Divisional Playoff round. The only touchdowns the Lions got were in the first quarter, scored by Golden Tate from 51 yards out. And Reggie Bush from 18 yards out. Terrence Williams scored 2 touchdowns, including the game winner with 2:32 left. And DeMarco Murray got the other touchdown to draw the Cowboys closer in the third quarter. And I'll tell you why none of this non-pass interference crap would have happened in the first place. The Lions were up 3 with over 8 minutes to go, and they had the ball, and they were facing a 3rd and 1 situation, and I do mean 1 yard to go, and they went for the home run, and Stafford went for the home run ball with Brandon Pettigrew, a bust quarterback who should never play for the Lions again. And Pettigrew gets pushed, and he pushes his defender. And in my opinion, that those could have been offsetting pass interference penalties on each one of those players, including Pettigrew and number 59 of Dallas. And what the Lions would have done is just take the easy yard and run out the clock, and then take it in for a nice easy score, a nice easy touchdown with about 2 or 3 minutes to go and be up 10. Then you'll have the win pretty much secured. That is a big valuable tip you would have taken, and a big valuable thing you would have done if you were the Detroit Lions, especially on offense. You can call in at 646-478-4837 and whine like a crybaby about it if you want. I'll just mute you. For it. Also, too many missed tackles, and they weren't covering Jason Witten. They let him catch too many passes from Tony Romo. Stafford threw just 1 interception, which was tipped by a Dallas defender. Not his fault. Of course it's not Stafford's fault. Why blame him? And I don't think it was his fault that the Lions couldn't score too many touchdowns. You can't blame it all. You can't blame too much on Stafford. He's a good quarterback. His offensive line and his receivers are not helping him out. Of course he's throwing a few passes inaccurately per game, but ending the Lions season, and Ndamukong Suh was crying after the game. Understandably, nothing weird about that, Drew Lane. Just wanted to let you know. He's possibly leaving Detroit, and they lost the game tonight. Pure and simple, plain and simple. The Red Wings closed out 2014 with a 3-1 win at Joe Louis Arena against the New Jersey Devils. Darren Helm scored 2 goals. By the way, the Cowboys play the Packers. By the way, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I want to let you know. Back to the Wings. Then after their New Year's Day break, they started 2015 with a sloppy 4-1 loss in Vancouver to the Canucks. Johan Franzen was the only wing standing in the neutral zone when the other 5 skaters, with Howard pulled, with under 2 minutes to go, down by 1 goal, were on the attack. And we were all like, what was Franzen doing at center ice? Oh man, that's just a really dumb mistake for anybody to make in the NHL. That's like Little League. It's not Bush League, but it's Little League hockey. I heard Jeff Moss at the Detroit Sports Rag bashing him and telling the Wings to get rid of him. Yeah, Jeff, I feel the same way. Way too many mistakes, way too many turnovers by the Wings. They play in Edmonton and Calgary, and then they play in Washington, Buffalo, and St. Louis to finish their 5-game road trip, to finish their 6-game road trip. You can check their entire schedule out at DetroitRedWings.com. The Pistons are still red hot, unlike the Wings lately. Pistons have won 5 straight after they waived Josh Smith. They beat the Magic 109-86 the day before New Year's Eve, and then they beat the New York Knicks. My lips always get handcuffed every time I try to say New York or New Year's or whatever. 97-81 was the final there. And then tonight they beat the Sacramento Kings at the Palace 114-95. They have scored 100 plus points in 4 of their last 5 games. All victories. Pistons have tougher tasks though, both in Texas. Tuesday at 8:30 in San Antonio against the defending NBA champion Spurs, and then on Wednesday they play in Dallas against the Mavericks at 8:30. The Spurs have been reeling, though. The Mavericks are just a great team with Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki's the real guy to cover. The Spurs I think are still a team. They've been reeling lately, but they still know how to win. They've lost a few. They've lost a few at home, and I'm kind of shocked about it. Spurs are in 4th place in the Southwest Division, 7th in the Western Conference, 21 and 14. I mean, can you believe that? Calling it 646-478-4837 to be on the show live, or text at 231-429-3668. Name and town, please. Name and town, please. And thank you. And the Michigan State Spartans in college football came back from down 34-21, 41-24, 41-21. To beat the Baylor Bears in the 2015 Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic in Dallas. (49 to 41. Keith Mumphrey, the senior wide receiver, made the game-winning catch with 17 seconds left after a blocked field goal attempt and a carry to the Baylor 45-yard line, which set up and fueled the Spartans' offensive ensuing drive. Man, that's just a good feeling for Spartans fans. Their men's basketball team had the entire week off. They're home tomorrow at 7 against the Indiana Hoosiers. They suffered a loss against Maryland in double overtime last week, the other week, 68-66 at Breslin Center. Spartans have another tough task against the Hoosiers from Bloomington, but it's at Breslin Center. It's at Breslin Center, don't worry. I'm pretty sure the Spartans will at least squeak one out against the Crimson and Cream. CMU Chippewas take on the Toledo Rockets Tuesday at 7 in Toledo, Ohio. Also, the Tigers have yet to, in other news, the Tigers have yet to talk to starting pitcher David Price on a long-term deal. Reports are that they haven't done that yet. In case you people are still wondering if they got any bullpen help yet, they already got Alex Wilson in the Porcello Cespedes trade. He's a right-handed pitcher. Very low ERA in the majors, 191. 432 in the minors. He's a pretty good career ERA. Better than Joe Nathan's last year. Koch and Chamberlain are still likely gone, but not officially. I'll check the roster after I end this episode. So I just wanted to make this short and sweet. But if anybody wants to call in and get their opinions in live on the show, do so. Call in at 646-478-4837 on Blog Talk Radio. Or text message at 231-429-3668. Please give me your name and town and state. Name and city. How's that? I would like Fern Dominican-Sue to stay. He's been getting really emotional lately after the loss. So emotionally that he might change his mind and decide to stay with the Lions. What are your opinions on that? 646-478-4837. I also want to talk about the 3 worst defensemen currently on the Red Wings team. Jonathan Ericsson, Brendan Smith, and Jakob Kindl. They commit too many penalty minutes, especially Jonathan Ericsson, and they turn the puck over way too many times. They are keeping the rest of this Red Wings team from getting 2 points per game. They're keeping them from winning. Isn't that unbelievable? Wait, it's not unbelievable. It's the same as it was the other 5 seasons previously, and I can't take it anymore. I just can't. One comment about the Pistons: they're playing better defense. Glad to see Anthony Tolliver, the newest Piston, Anthony Tolliver. Apologize for that. Glad to see the newest Piston, Anthony Tolliver, get more productive work tonight. Got 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's been pretty good. He's a sharpshooter. Tolliver got himself at least a couple points in New York. Got himself at least a couple points in New York. And a couple points in Orlando. He's put up at least 10 points as a Piston this season. Brandon Jennings led Detroit with 35 points in the 114-95 win over Sacramento earlier tonight at the Palace. Andre Drummond keeps racking up the double-doubles. 15 points, I think. Yeah, 15 points for Andre Drummond, 10 rebounds, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks. there were a total of, there were 4 Pistons in double figures. Jody Meeks with 13, Greg Monroe with 14. He got a double-double as well. 11 rebounds. Brandon Jennings also got 7 assists to go with his 35 points. Joel Anthony picked up a couple. Caron Butler, 8 points. DJ Augustine, 6 points. 5 assists, including a nice alley-oop to Andre Drummond, which I saw live. Jonas Jerebko with just 3. Kyle Singler with 3 as well, including a 3-pointer. All on a 3-pointer. 1 for 3 at the 3 line. 1 for 7 overall. That's not good enough for him. But the Pistons won. Singler was not a factor tonight, I'm afraid. He was only 1 for 7 from the field overall. His 1 bucket came from downtown. Pistons scored 114 points. That's the point, that he's not a factor. That he was not a factor tonight. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Good but not great season for the Lions. 11 wins and a trip to the playoffs either way. Still not good enough. I want the Super Bowl. I really wish the Lions would have beaten the Packers in the first place at Lambeau Field. They still can't beat the Packers at Lambeau Field, and they still can't win a playoff game. They can't even secure home field advantage either. They're getting there, though. They're getting to those 3 points. Better than the Three Stooges. Jim Caldwell, just like everybody else does, forgot how to manage the clock as a head coach, and that's detrimental. Maybe Caldwell will be less arrogant someday in the future and just admit that he was wrong. He's a great coach, though, but he's got to admit that he was wrong. He's still calmer than Jim Schwartz. We all know that. We true Lions fans know that. So I will talk to you again sometime soon back on Spreaker and then back here on Blog Talk Radio Sunday night at 11. TTFN, ta-ta for now.